damaged his public image. And to add insult to injury, Shaq was throwing shots at him in the media time and time again throughout the 04 season. But despite all the controversy, LA somehow managed to make the finals, just to get stunned by the Detroit Pistons in 5 in one of the greatest finals upsets in history. And that was the breaking point. During the 2004 offseason, Coach Phil Jackson left the Lakers, stating that it was due to Kobe being disrespectful and uncoachable that season. It was enough to drive Shaq out too, as he was traded to Miami 1 month later. And just like that, Kobe was all by his lonesome. A weight came off his shoulders when the case was dropped entering the 05 season, but things just weren't the same. He missed the playoffs for the first time in his career, and the reality of his situation was starting to set in. Everyone had left him, the media despised him, and his I can do it by myself mentality on the court wasn't beloved by his teammates. There were serious beliefs that Kobe was never gonna win again. He pushed everyone out, and now he was gonna pay the price. So, entering the 2006 season, wanting to prove everyone wrong, the Mamba hit the motherfucking gas.
Loose ball, Kwame gets it back. Gotta hurry. It'll be Kobe. Kobe for a deuce. And the win, he got it!
Guess what?
He got it with 6/10 of a second to play.
Hey, that's the guy you want shooting it.
This might be the most Kobe way to start a season. A mid-range game winner against Denver to win on opening night, and tag on 33 points, 5 boards, and 4 dimes. This was a sign of what was to come. The very next night, he goes for 39, 7 and 5 against Phoenix, and then obliterates Denver again for 37, 8 and 5, followed by a 37-point outburst against Atlanta to rail off 4 straight 30-point games to start the year. The man was scorching. However, LA's lack of a roster around him weighed the team down. They lost 3 straight games after Kobe's hot start to put their record below 500, and he wasn't pleased. So as the New York Knicks rolled into town, the Mamba was unleashed.
Kicks down a drive. Kobe open. Beautiful.
Why? That's why I say you got to stay close here in the third. Everything was so right for him. I think it's going to take for Kwame to have a breakout game.
Kobe gets in the paint. The basket, Kwame gets it to Kobe. Screen for him, and Kobe rings the deuce.
A 42-point mauling flipped a switch inside of Kobe's mind. An avalanche was coming. 36, 43, 34, 46, 30, and 33 in a win against Milwaukee to bring LA's record to 8 and 9. Yeah, having Kobe's great, but when your second, third, and fourth best options are Lamar Odom, Kwame Brown, and Smush Parker, winning won't come easily. Still, Kobe's insane numbers built an early case for his first career MVP. But if he wants a real shot at it, that record's gotta go up. And as he faced Dallas on December 12th, he was chasing that W. The dude put on a shooting clinic over any player from any angle. I mean, watch how he contorts his body for this reverse finish. It was basketball poetry. And down 1 with 40 seconds to go, he proved to be clutch too.
Down to 3 seconds. Kobe lost the dribble. In a hurry, he has to pick it up. Shoot 3, my goodness!
After losing his dribble, Kobe lasers a 30-foot fading 3 to take the lead and win the game with a nutty 43, 5, 2, and 4 stat line. However, that was just the stocking stuffer, because 8 days later, on December 20th, the Mamba gave Dallas an early Christmas gift.
It was going to be a difficult one, and now Kobe hit on his right. Versus it anyway, even with the contact early. Points. Kobe trying to lose his man on the tier. Over Daniels. Another 3. Down the numbers, but boy, he's trying to make his own statement. On the reverse. What a start to an MVP season for Kobe on the... Yes! Kobe
get it.
Now Kobe for three. I don't believe it. Incredible. 95, 61. End to his career. 62 for Kobe.
I take it back. He is good, but he has to work him down his hand.
If last game was a clinic, this was a masterclass. 62 points in 3 quarters is ludicrous. That's right, 62 points in 32 minutes. Now get this, in those 3 quarters, he outscored the entire Dallas roster. The Mamba scored 62, the Mavericks scored 61. It's one of the greatest scoring performances the league has ever seen. And he could have scored more too. Brian Shaw, the Lakers' assistant coach, had asked Kobe if he wanted to play in the 4th to go for 70, to which he said, "I'll do it when we really need it." The man wasn't focused on scoring or the numbers. He was locked in on one thing: winning. Unfortunately, that isn't what happened on Christmas Day. A dreadful loss to Shaq and the Heat put Kobe on the edge. And you could tell. In a game against the Grizzlies 2 nights later, Kobe gets clipped by Mike Miller, and he's livid. He lets him hear it as he heads back to the locker room for stitches, and when he returned, he was out for blood, elbowing Miller right in the face, accidentally on purpose. The NBA suspended him 2 games for the elbow, to which he came back with his head on fire.
901 Shelby Drive, look alive, look alive. Niggas came up on it.
48 points and 10 rebounds in his first game back from suspension gave us our introduction to January Kobe. He followed it up with 50 points, 8 boards, and 8 dimes versus the Clippers, in which 40 of those points were in the second half, including a wild floater to win the game. Then he went nuts for 45, 10, and 5 in a win over Indiana, 41 versus Portland, 27 points, and another game winner over a young LeBron to beat the Cavs. He poured in 38, 7 and 7, 37 versus Miami, 51, 9 and 4 in sack, and then 37 big ones against the Suns. We were witnessing one of the game's all-time bucket getters at the absolute peak of his scoring powers. And just when it felt like he couldn't possibly top himself, in a game against the Toronto Raptors at Staples Center on January 22nd, 2006, Kobe made history.
I watched the whole game.
See, I think I read it on the ticker somewhere. It just said Kobe 81.
81 or 50? Nobody believed that.
Man, that's unbelievable. I just couldn't believe it.
Unbelievable. I said he was probably gonna score 70 tonight. I don't know what made me say that. And my friends was with me and they was like, okay. So when he got to like 70, I was like, well, he might as well go for 80 now.
Get to man, little backhand.
Lakers going defensive.
Kobe fires. Here's Kobe again. Yes, sir. Out of Bryant.
They're giving him the ball to see if he can add to it.
Shooter by Kobe. He's going to score. And jump Lakers lead. Here's Kobe. Trying to move around low feet. Trying to put him up. Finally shoots. Nobody helping right out defensively, so he only takes a 15. Kobe 4 away from Elgin Baylor's Laker record. Kobe guarded by Mo Peterson. Kobe pump fake for 2. Kobe's got the Laker record. This one is an 81-point game. 55 in the second half. Ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed the second greatest scoring performance in NBA history.
81 points. The second highest scoring performance the NBA has ever seen now belongs to Kobe Bean Bryant. There are no words to describe this performance, other than, I'll do it when we need it. You remember that? Kobe called his shot just a month earlier, and when they really needed it, he delivered. After scoring 26 in the first half, the Lakers were still down 14. So he spazzed for 55 points in the second half, and LA won by 18. The man was a machine. He'd finished the month of January averaging 43 points, 5 boards, 4 dimes, and nearly 2 steals on elite efficiency. with 12 30-point games, 7 40 bombs, 2 50 pieces, and 1 80 ball. It's without a doubt the greatest scoring stretch of his career. On top of the fact that the Lakers went 9-4 to get to the 6th seed in the West. Kobe's case for the MVP was for real, but even Superman couldn't do it all. February wasn't hot for LA. Despite Bryant averaging over 31 a night, they went 5-8 and were dropped to the 8th seed, right on the verge of missing the playoffs. If it wasn't for Kobe, this team would be dead last, no exaggeration. But with one of the game's all-time greats, they have a chance, and that's all the man needed. He scorched Portland for 35, and it lit a fuse. 42 points in a win versus the Warriors, 40 in another win, and then 43 points in a loss. So, headed to New Orleans the very next night, desperate for another win, Kobe cranked it into playoff mode.
One and done is all you're going to give him.
Kobe, oh, man. The clock. This is Kobe, late in the clock. The 3, a game, a playoff-like game, and Kobe is playing like everything's at stake. Kobe with 3, Kobe with 2. Oh, my.